Hey guys, Mal here, and today we're taking a look at the new Call of Duty. Now I know you're sitting there thinking, WTF Mal, have you had a stroke or something? Why the hell are you wasting time with Call of Duty? Trust me when I say I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't think it was important. Whenever a new COD comes out, I pick it up and give it a go. For quite a few CODs now, I've felt there was just something missing the mark for me. They couldn't hook me like the old school COD games had, and honestly, I was thinking that I'd just outgrown the FPS genre and pure FPS wasn't enough for me anymore. Well, that all changed during the weekend just gone as I played the ever-loving crap out of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta. Personally, it feels like the first real COD in years. None of the gimmicky mech leg parkour nonsense, no battle royale garbage, no unique classes with abilities that are unbalanced as hell. Instead, they focused on what made COD great. Solid gunplay, fantastic map design, rewarding kill streaks with fun mechanics, and an all-round entertaining gameplay loop. They've essentially gone back to their roots, added some quality of life changes, and used a good engine to make it look awesome. During the beta, they rolled out different modes and features across the weekend. When I saw that they had dropped the realism mode, I dropped everything I was doing and binged the absolute shit out of the game. What used to be called hardcore is now realism mode, no UI and realistic bullet damage. It really slows the gameplay down. Yes, there are still some bullshit COD moves like jumping through doorways and slight Rambo-esque stuff. However, you have to be so much more tactical, otherwise one guy can easily drop your entire team. I am absolutely in love with this new game mode. It is by far one of the most awesome and rewarding FPS experiences that I've had in years, and I am eager as hell for the game to drop late October. Now that I'm done fanboying over what is a fantastic shooter, let's take a look at how Infinity Ward, the devs, and Activision, the publishers, are totally screwing everything up and making their loyal player base hate them. See, in interviews that the devs had prior to the beta, they were questioned about loot boxes and whether there would be some sort of pay-to-win element to the game. At the time, they were unable to discuss things in regards to loot boxes and basically just had to skip the question. So no huge surprise when they turn around and announce that the game will have loot boxes, and not only will they have cosmetic items, but actual in-game guns too, which is a pretty hectic decision in that you're going from a paid for cosmetic over to pay to win in a sense. Along with that information, there's also the news that Spec Ops Survival Mode is going to be a PS4 exclusive for the first year. Now, given that the general life cycle of a COD game is about a year, I think it's a bit of a cheeky decision, presumably from the publishers. They probably made a fair bit of cash from that little move. Personally, I think having it exclusive for the first few months would have been more fair, and the fans that have supported the IP since the very beginning, back in 2003, when it started on PC, wouldn't be as annoyed about it. It's a COD game. You know you could have still got the same amount of money from Sony to hold an exclusivity deal like that, but for a few months instead of a year, and you guys know it. Regardless of how poorly they're treating their fanbase, I've already pre-ordered, and I'm looking forward to getting back to a truly awesome COD experience. Now, it pains me to say that because I guess that's part of the issue. Regardless of the stunts that they pull, there's still enough money coming in from people that enjoy the games to sustain them. It essentially allows them to do whatever they would like, with little to no consideration for the community that supports and funds the ventures they delve into. The only way to make any significant difference to their behavior is to boycott a very big title, new release, with massive numbers. Like, I'm talking you convince hundreds of thousands of people to not buy a game in a franchise, just say, fuck it, no. These guys, they need to cut the shit. That's how you get change. Look at the crazy shit that happened with EA because of that Star Wars game. They basically got crucified over it. Sure, they'll probably find a way to sneak microtransactions back in, if they haven't already, but at least there was some sort of a stand and a brief change in their behavior to show they realized that they had fucked up. I'll aim to do a follow-up video on this once the game releases, and I have a chance to personally confirm everything in regards to it being pay to win and all of that. As it currently stands, the Spec Ops Survival Mode being locked to PS4 for the first year is confirmed. That is 100% gonna happen. The pay-to-win loot boxes was leaked by a reputable source that had already been correct multiple times previously with leaks on this game. Additionally, there was this screenshot that was posted on Reddit. Someone managed to glitch their beta client and get it to show the loot box reward screen. I dare say the negative backlash and pre-order cancellations that have already occurred from this won't be enough to persuade them into changing the way it works. When they pulled this shit with the last COD game, they didn't care, and that isn't going to change magically from the last game to this one. I just think it's doing your fanbase such a disloyalty to essentially prey on people with manipulative digital gambling systems. Legally here in Australia, it isn't considered gambling due to outdated gambling laws. I don't think normies and non-gamers really see just how much microtransaction loot boxes are jammed down your throat in games that have them. Enticing people, both children and adults, with the hope and excitement of maybe getting one of the shiny loot items, then tearing that shit away from them and giving them the same old common shitty items. Haha, motherfucker. Better buy another 50 and maybe you'll see that item you're after. I understand that their methodology and motivation behind it is how lucrative it can be. I get it. You can make shitloads of cash, and that's great because then you keep developing games, right? But let's take a minute to have a look at Facepunch Studios. Devs like them are few and far between nowadays. Rust entered early access way back in December of 2013, and they have held true to weekly and monthly updates for years. They have only ever asked for the one-time payment to buy the game. Even after they officially released in February of 2018, they could have easily just stopped working on the game. They had more than done their job of making an incredible game, and no one would have been disappointed if they had said it was done and they were no longer doing anything for it. Instead, they just swapped over to monthly updating, and now a year and a half later, they are still releasing insane content monthly for the community. It is absurd just how much they've added to the game since its official launch. It's practically an entirely different game to beforehand. Yet they still haven't asked for a cent for any sort of DLC expansion nonsense. They have never done that, and I love them forever for that. Now that's not to say that they haven't added microtransactions to the game, because they absolutely have. However, their method for it is considerably less predatorial. They sell skins and cosmetic or RP items for the game in a store. Each week, they pick another 8 to 12 products to be in the store. It's just a shop. If you want to support the devs and the game, which a lot of us love, then you get a cool skin for doing so. Not some RNG bullshit mechanic based on chance as we throw money at you. I miss the days when it felt like games were made by a bunch of people that loved games, rather than a bunch of people trying to make as much money as possible off of games. In an interview and article done by Polygon back in 2014, the figures were apparently Garry's Mod's sales hit $30 million. However, even at that point, Rust sales eclipsed it. Whereas in an article from MoneyInc.com, a brief estimate would put the earnings for the Call of Duty franchise at about $9.7 billion, and this is a 3-year-old article, so by now I dare say they've cracked the $10 billion mark surely. Just looking at the numbers clearly shows just how profitable using a loot box system for your game can be if your game is popular. That's no secret. It's not hard to get kids to gamble. Hell, it's not even hard to get adults to do it half the time. Yes, it will make you more money, but you can make good money by doing it the legitimate, non-predatorial way instead, and your community will actually really appreciate your efforts. Way less drama to have to deal with, and IMO a much better way of doing things. But hey, maybe that's just me. Anyway, that's it from me for now. Leave a comment below and let me know what your thoughts on all of this are. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, why the fuck not? Come on man, help me out, swing me a sub. I'm going to let some gameplay run for the rest of this video, so you can get an idea of what actually playing the game is like without me talking shit the entire time. I'll give you a fair warning though, I'm far from good at COD. I've got a lot to learn still. Regardless, I'm really looking forward to playing more of this game. It was genuinely extremely fun, and that's kind of rare nowadays. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Team deathmatch. Here they come. Attack! Command is ours. Maintain pressure. Ah!
Reloading. Fine.
Soldat, you have lost the lead.
One down. Setting a claymore. Changing max. Taking fire.
Command is ours. Maintain pressure.
I'm taking fire. Taking fire. I've been hit.
Allied UAV overhead.
Set fire. Same site.
Allied UAV overhead.
Taking fire. Changing max. Changing max. Changing max. Throwing grenade.
Allied cruise missile launched.